If somebody asked you to recite the dictionary definition of a pie, you could probably do it. You'd say a pie is a baked dish of fruit or meat and vegetables, typically with a top and base of pastry. But if somebody asked you to define pie to, say, 100 decimal places, you just have to ask Google, because that answer exists somewhere in some server, in some hard drive, digitally. But apparently, there are ways to tell them. (3.14159265358979) 32384626433832 78209748259230689986280348253421170679. Now, I'm no memory athlete, but that took me just 15 minutes to memorize, only because I've spent time in practicing how to memorize. With my background in psychiatry and my experience in providing motivation training, I've come to realize that many people battle with the frustration of not knowing how to use their memories effectively. What it does is it motivates me to find an easier way and share it with people. I've noticed that school pupils are more stressed than ever before with having to stuff their brains for those all-important test papers. University students have to try hold down massive curriculums and volumes of exam material before their big day. And how many thousands of pounds and hours are wasted each day in lectures, seminars, and conferences, only for those to forget most of what they were presented with. And this problem affects our everyday lives too. Forgetting where you put your car keys down. Forgetting somebody's name moments after you've been introduced to them. And what about this one? Pitching up to work and realizing that the lunch that you made for yourself lovingly the night before is still in your fridge at home. Forgetting is frustrating. But history would tell us that we haven't actually always been like this. So my question to you is it possible to recall the forgotten secrets of memorization, to re-evolve your memory back to standards of times gone by, such that you'd be able to remember more, learn smarter, and even connect and communicate with people more powerfully around you? Some think it's possible, and I'd like to show you how. I'm going to walk you through a memory training exercise to help you discover your amazing potential for yourself. Before we do, we're going to take a closer look at the evolution of memory training, and specifically 2 key principles in memorization. Let's wind the clock back 2,500 years. The ancient Greeks and Romans memorized their speeches. Simonides was coined the father of memory training, and he invented the memory palace, so it's thought, the technique that I used for that sequence of pi. And it appears that as externalized data storage has evolved over time, our need to internalize data in our own minds has actually decreased. It's a common observation. With the evolution of the printing press, punch cards, magnetic tape, microtransistors and integrated circuits, and your mobile phone, it's as if we've been afforded the luxury to remember less. And though our lives are more efficient and effective in many ways than ever before, it's as if we've forgotten how to remember. So what did the ancient greats do so well? They used creative techniques to file away information in their minds in a way that was conducive to how their brain knew how to behave best. It's interesting. And so they did this through 2 key principles: imagination and association. Imagination is your mind's ability to create an experience. Our brains are wired to remember experientially, and your hippocampus is a structure central to the formation of memories in your brain. Now, it's particularly sensitive to visual cues, emotional cues, and spatial cues. It's why we're more prone to forming memories that are attached to pictures, or the way that we felt, or locations that we've been in. You are wired to remember experientially, and when you are able to use imagination to convert or exaggerate the information you wish to store, it suddenly becomes a lot easier to remember. Let me illustrate. Instead of me telling you to remember the word hippocampus, why not, with me for a moment, picture a university campus full of hippos who are very studious. They're walking around with ring binders under their arms, and they're drinking cups of coffee. They're huddling in intense study groups in the library. And you see them trying to compete for their annual memory championships. They're studying away, trying to cram as many books and encyclopedias into their mind as possible. That is your hippocampus, a structure in your brain central to memorization. So imagination creates experience, and when data becomes experiential, it's more memorable. The second key principle to memorization is association. Association is all about creating links. It's your mind's ability to create a relationship between brand new information and what you already know. You see, when it comes to learning, we know that we learn better when there's a context to what we're trying to learn. When new information becomes relevant to us, suddenly it's more effectively stored in our memories. Let me illustrate. Instead of me trying to teach you that the atomic weight of lithium is 7, and that lithium can be used in the medical treatment of mood disorders, if I told you that the drink 7-Up used to contain lithium, and you could associate that's where it got its name from, the 7 being the atomic weight of the lithium, and the up being the mood lift that you'd experience when you drank it, suddenly that information becomes relevant to you and is networked into your already existing bed of ideas in your mind. Imagination is powerful. It creates experience. Association is powerful because it creates relationship. And now that you understand those two key principles, you're now ready to put them into practice. So I'm going to walk you through a fun memory training exercise to help you see your amazing potential. So if you're ready, if you're excited, if that's you, everyone just raise your hand and shout, "Aye!" Aye! That's great. What I want to do with you, for you right now is share a variant of a method I learned when I was a child. It's called the memory cloakroom, or the PEG system. And there are lots of techniques out there, but I think this is a pretty good one for beginner memory training, just to kind of revive your memory training skills. The idea behind it is that you create a well-rehearsed list of items in your mind that become permanent pegs. And onto these pegs, you can hook new information that you wish to remember. So here we have 10 digits, and what we're going to do is transform each digit into a memorable and meaningful peg. How? Because each peg is represented by a picture which is based on the literal formation of that number. Let's walk through it. Number 1 is a candle. Simple enough. Get that in your mind. Number 2 is a swan. See the head and the neck of the swan from the formation number 2. Number 3 is a heart. You can trace that with your finger, can't you? As the two ends just meet together to form the tip of that heart. Number 4 is a sailboat. Number 5, nice and easy, it's a snake. That's a happy snake. Number 6, you're on the pitch and putt with your golf club. Just see the neck of the 6 as your handle, and the curl of your 6 being the head of your golf club. That's number 6. Number 7 looks like an axe, therefore it's an axe. Number 8 is a jolly old snowman. And number 9 is a balloon with a string. And number 10, it's dinner time, is a fork and plate. I think we should consolidate. I'm going to shout out the number. You're going to shout out the peg. Easy enough? Ready? As loud as you can. So number 1 is? Candle. Number 2? Swan. Number 3? Heart. Number 4? Sail. Number 5? Snake. Number 6? Cobra. Number 7? Axe. Number 8? Snowman. Number 9? Balloon. And number 10? Guys, give yourselves a round of applause. You've just created a memory cloakroom in your mind. Now, as I said, when this becomes well rehearsed, you can actually use it as a technique in your everyday life to remember lists, to remember items that you just need to stuff into your brain real quick. We're going to practice that right now. Here we have a shopping list of very healthy foods, and you're going to remember these items by hanging each one on each peg. We're going to use imagination and association. So item number 1 on your list is guava. Go back to your peg and picture a guava fruit suspended above your candle. See your guava fruit expand with the heat of the candle to the point it suddenly explodes, and guava juice goes all over you. That's item number 1. Item number 2, red pepper. See your swan bite into a bright red pepper. It's so hot that your swan begins to turn bright red, and now it's breathing fire. You have a fire-breathing swan on your hands. Number 3, an orange. It's Valentine's Day, and you have a secret admirer. You go out to your car in the morning, only to find a heart-shaped formation of oranges superglued to your windscreen. Number 4, kale. Go back to your sailboat and tear out the sail. Replace it with a ginormous green leaf of kale. Number 5, kiwi. Think of the Kiwi New Zealand rugby team. They're doing their haka dance, but for their finale, they all pull out a snake, and they start to swing it round their heads, and they all throw their snakes through the goalposts. What an ending. Number 6, green pepper. You're on the golfing green, about to drive a green pepper down the green. You hit it so hard that you burst it, and green pepper seeds go everywhere. What a mess. Number 7, you take your axe, you're about to chop down a tree, but it's not a tree. It's a giant stalk of broccoli. Feel the energy as you take every swing into this stalk of broccoli. Number 8, you need to buy some Brussels sprouts. So go to your snowman and pull out the eyes of coal and the buttons of coal and replace them with Brussels sprouts. Now you know if you're low on your Christmas dinner, you know where to get some. Number 9, get some grapefruit. See a balloon man inflating grapefruit with helium, pumping each individual grapefruit up, tying it with a piece of string, and selling them at a balloon stand. And finally, number 10, strawberries. You're sitting down to dinner in a restaurant, but the waiter suddenly comes and takes your plate away and replaces it with a plate piled high to the ceiling of strawberries. The strawberry pile avalanches, and it goes everywhere, all over the restaurant floor. That's your shopping list. Let's test. What I'm going to do is I'm going to call out each item. You're going to first shout out the peg. Once we've got the peg, we'll then call out the corresponding item. Sound good? Okay. So for item number 1, we go to peg number 1. Peg number 1 is? Candle. And therefore, the item is? Wow. Good job. Item number 2, so we go to the peg. The peg is? Swan. And so the item is? Red pepper. Okay, peg number 3. Peg is? Heart. And the item is? Orange. Item number 4, so go to the peg. The peg is? Sail. And so the item is? Sail. You're very good at this. Item number 5, we go to our peg, and the peg, of course, is a? And so the item we need to buy? I almost told you. Item number 6, go back to your peg. It is a? And so therefore, you must buy. Item number 7, you go back to your peg. It is a? And so therefore, you're chopping into? Item number 8, the peg is? And so you must buy? Peg number 9 is? And so you must not forget to buy. And item number 10, the peg is? And so you must buy. Give yourself a round of applause. You've just plugged in a 10-item shopping list. Amazing. Amazing. There are lots of techniques out there that you can look up, that you can try, but they all seem to be fueled by one thing: imagination combined with association. It's really that simple. Imagination and association. Even in the last 15 minutes, with the right techniques, you've been able to learn that the hippocampus is a structure central in your brain for memory formation. You've learned that the atomic weight of lithium is 7. And though you think you've just learned a shopping list, what you've actually memorized is Google's first hit for the top 10 sources of vitamin C. What if we didn't just teach people what to learn, but how to learn? What would schools look like? What would businesses look like? Workforces? Would it be that we would be more effective with absorbing information, with building relationships, and even connecting with people around us? I think it's possible. The ancient greats partnered with the biology of their brains. They realized that they were wired for experience, that they were wired for creativity, and so they actually absorbed information that way. Our memories, in a sense, make us who we are. They are a connection point between our past and our future. They help us integrate with our reality and connect with not only our surroundings, but the others around us, and help preserve the things that are important to us. It's really interesting that long ago, it was thought that memory, intelligence, and even wisdom didn't reside in just the mind alone, but also the heart. It's where we get the phrase, to learn by heart, from. So if our minds are built for imagination and association, is it possible then that deep in our hearts, we're actually built for dreams and connection, for creativity, and for relationships? You see, the vault in your mind is bigger than you think, and the purposes of your heart are deeper than you think. You are amazing. There's treasure in you. So have fun. Go recall the forgotten secrets of memorization and re-evolve your memory. Thank you.